Qantas is urgently paging passenger Mr. Jeffrey Sampson. Your flight is in the final stages of boarding and is ready for departure.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another trip report. Thanks for joining me, and today I am flying on the Qantas Boeing 787-9 in premium economy from Brisbane to Los Angeles. As you know, Brisbane is my home airport and it is certainly a reasonable focus city for Qantas internationally as well, which means there's lots of amenities for passengers travelling internationally on Qantas from Brisbane International. Check-in is rather easy with premium economy, a dedicated self-check-in kiosk area, and then just a short queue in the US specific lane to be able to put your bags through and checked in and ready to go through to the airside part of the terminal. Good morning. So my bags are checked in and I am ready to go through security and find my way to the Qantas International Lounge this morning before my flight to LA. I'm really excited, mixed emotions though, leaving my lovely girlfriend and family and friends for 6 weeks, but really looking forward to the trip ahead and the awesome personal and professional development as well. So thanks for watching, stay tuned. Once through security, it's a quick stroll through the duty-free maze and then you're into the main airside portion of the Brisbane International Terminal. It's light, it's got a high ceiling, and it does feel really, really nice. But today I am using a lounge pass and get to enjoy the beautifully recently renovated Brisbane International Lounge. And let me tell you, it's a really nice treat. It's a nice place to relax and get ready before a 14-hour flight to the United States. There's quite a variety of hot food options, a buffet with your classic breakfast foods on offer, as well as some more fresh and lighter options as well that you saw in the first bit of imagery. There's also a tended bar, even at this early hour, and the vanilla iced coffee, which I've had before, is something that I love and was happy to indulge as I sit back and enjoyed the view in front of me. I've gone through the International Lounge for Qantas at the Brisbane terminal before, but it is very spacious, although it was quite busy in the morning periods, but quite easy to find a spot for a single traveller. It's now split across 3 levels, with the upstairs area providing a little bit of extra oasis from the main hustle and bustle of the main floor. I really like the chic vibe and aesthetic of the Qantas International Lounge here at Brisbane. The light that pours in and makes the space seem much bigger than it is makes it a really enjoyable spot. There's also this little neat Brisbane breakfast hatch which has plate of the day offerings. A delicious option this morning. As you can see, I was quite hungry and indulged in quite a few different food options, as well as the regular drink options throughout the day, including the Rockpool Signature series and the Quench station as well. Back on the main level is where you'll find the bathrooms, which are very nicely presented and very elegant. There's also shower suites available if you need to have a shower before your long or short international journey. After about 90 minutes or so indulging in the lounge facilities, I decided to go for a walk along the airside portion of the terminal here at Brisbane International and indulge in a little bit of plane spotting as I normally do. And the morning rush at Brisbane is really, really cool. There's lots of wide-body international aircraft for you to see. And having a look at all of the action on the ground and in the air is always a treat, especially on such a beautiful autumn day like this day in Brisbane. Feel free to skip ahead if you're not into the plane spotting as much as I am. Otherwise, please enjoy. My QF15 flight today was on a less than 6-month-old Boeing 787-9, one of the newest aircraft in the Qantas international fleet, in the Qantas fleet for that matter. And here you can see it lying in all of her glory in the beautiful sun on the apron at Brisbane International. Boarding, as you would expect, was reasonably ordered, with family groups and those requiring assistance invited to board first, followed by those with status and flying in business class and the premium economy cabin invited next, before the general. Today my seat is 23A, which is a window seat in the premium economy cabin in the last row. As you can see, the cabin is in a 2-3-2 layout, which provides much more comfort than the 3-3-3 economy layout. A welcome beverage is provided to premium economy customers, and I indulged in a lovely sparkling wine as I settled into the seat. It wasn't long before the final stages of boarding were in order and the safety demonstration video was played, something that I'm quite familiar with now across the Qantas fleet. Today we were making a straight out departure towards the east across the vast Pacific Ocean northeast towards the United States of America and Los Angeles, and sit back, enjoy the takeoff spool and take off. Shortly after you're up in the air, the crew does force you to view an overview of the premium economy seat, which was actually quite useful and did demonstrate some of the features available with the seat itself. Shortly thereafter, a very nice personal touch. The purser on board this flight came around and individually introduced himself to every member in the premium economy cabin, which was, I thought, a nice touch. He didn't really offer anything of substance, but it was still nice to have a personal welcome and introduction and an invitation to seek assistance throughout the flight if required. So having a look at the seat itself, as you can see here, it is a classic premium economy seat, unfortunately not lying flat, but plenty of room to move about. As you know, I'm quite tall and the legroom here and seat pitch is reasonably comfortable for me and definitely nice. The seat back materials are right in front, and there's a small storage container as well for your mobile phone or other devices while you're charging. And of course the lever to unlock the novel
footrest. There's also a USB port next to the headphone jack towards your side, as well as the seat control for the recline function. Shortly after takeoff as well, a light service was offered. Again, I opted for a sparkling wine, and some pretzels and almonds were provided as well. A country road amenity kit is provided to premium economy passengers. As you can see, it has the basics, including socks, an eye shade, and a toothbrush and toothpaste. And the menus were distributed as well. Feel free to check them out. Today I opted for the lamb shank, and I actually pre-booked this meal online the night before, which is a service offered to premium cabins for Qantas international flights. The meal was rather tasty. The bread and the salad went well with the gravy and potatoes and the lamb shank itself, and the nice little passion fruit cake was nice to top it off as well at the end. As you can see, I definitely enjoyed the meal. Shortly after, a Weiss lemon myrtle yogurt bar was offered to soften the palate and allow you to settle in for the 12 or so hours remaining of the flight. Even though the flight is a mid-morning departure, the force shading on the Dreamliner windows was enacted very soon after takeoff, which meant for a darkened cabin. When I went to use the bathroom, I was actually invited by one of the cabin crew to use the business class bathroom or lavatory, and as you can see, it's reasonably spacious with some nicer amenities compared to the economy class lavatories. Despite it only being about 1 p.m. Australian time, the norm or the expectation by the cabin crew is to immediately adjust to the West Coast American time, which means a very dark cabin. So what else is there to do than sit back and enjoy some of the excellent entertainment on board this flight. As you can see, there's lots of new, old and classic movies available, as well as a number of box sets and TV shows, which I'm sure would cater to the vast majority of those on board the aircraft. The moving map's always fun to pass the time as well. About halfway into the flight, a light warm refreshment is offered, and today it was this quiche with a nice chutney on the side. It was quite tasty, I liked it. But this being my first ever flight to North America, I did not really appreciate the time zone difference and the need to adjust quite rapidly to the new time zone on arrival. This of course meant trying to get to sleep at an unreasonable hour, and an hour that my body clock wasn't used to, something that I'll try and recall and remember for my next trip to North America. About 90 minutes or so before landing, the cabin lights come back up and all passengers are offered a breakfast service. I went for the frittata with bacon and sausage and spinach, as well as some fruit and the warm breakfast pastry as well, which was quite tasty and a nice way to finish off the flight from a culinary perspective. Shortly before landing, we were offered a hot towel, which was nice to refresh and re-energize from the almost 14-hour flight. Before I knew it, we were on the ground and taxiing to the gate. Unfortunately, we arrived about 25 minutes before 6 a.m, which meant that we weren't allowed to deplane the aircraft until 6 a.m, until the TSA and immigration officers had arrived and clocked on and were ready to process us through immigration. But it was okay. It was, a pretty comfortable seat to wait another 25 minutes or so. So thanks again for coming along with me on my first ever flight to North America. I look forward to sharing my next trip report with you, and thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed, please give it a like, and if you want to see more, why not subscribe? Thanks. See you later.